Mammal. An animal that feeds milk to its babies. Primate. A mammal with hands and forward-facing eyes. Ape. A primate with no tail. Gorilla. A large ape with strong arms. Chimpanzee. A smart ape that lives in groups. Orangutan. A reddish ape that lives mostly in trees. Lemur. A primate with big eyes and a long tail. Monkey. A primate that often has a long tail. Baboon. A large monkey with a long face. Sloth. A slow animal that hangs in trees. Anteater. An animal that eats ants with a long tongue. Armadillo. An animal with a hard shell-like body. Porcupine. An animal with sharp quills for protection. Hedgehog. A small animal with spines on its back. Badger. A strong animal that digs burrows. Otter. A playful animal that swims well. Beaver. An animal that builds dams with wood. Raccoon. An animal with a mask-like face and ringed tail. Skunk. An animal that sprays a strong smell. Meerkat. A small animal that stands upright to watch. Mongoose. A quick animal that hunts small animals. Opossum. A small animal that may play dead. Marsupial. An animal that carries babies in a pouch. Platypus. An egg-laying mammal with a duck-like bill. Predator. An animal that hunts other animals for food. Carnivore. An animal that eats mostly meat. Feline. A cat or cat-like animal. Canine. A dog or dog-like animal. Lion. A large wild cat that lives in groups. Tiger. A large striped wild cat that hunts alone. Leopard. A spotted wild cat that climbs well. Jaguar. A powerful spotted cat with strong jaws. Cheetah. A very fast spotted cat. Lynx. A wild cat with tufted ears. Panther. A large dark wild cat. Cougar. A large tan wild cat, also called a mountain lion. Wolf. A wild canine that lives and hunts in packs. Fox. A small wild canine with a bushy tail. Coyote. A wild canine that looks like a small wolf. Hyena. A strong animal known for its laugh-like call. Bear. A large strong animal with thick fur. Grizzly. A large brown bear with a shoulder hump. Panda. A black and white bear that eats bamboo. Wolverine. A strong, fierce animal with thick fur. Seal. A sea animal with flippers. Walrus. A large sea animal with tusks. Weasel. A small, quick animal with a long body. Ferret. A small tame animal with a long body. Herbivore. An animal that eats mostly plants. Ungulate. An animal with hooves. Livestock. Farm animals kept by people. Cattle. Cows and bulls kept on farms. Ox. A strong cattle animal used for work. Buffalo. A large hoofed animal with curved horns. Bison. A large hoofed animal with a shaggy head. Yak. A long-haired cattle animal from cold mountains. Antelope. A fast-hoofed animal with horns. Gazelle. A small, graceful antelope that runs fast. Deer. A hoofed animal. Males often have antlers. Elk. A large deer with big antlers. Moose. A very large deer with broad antlers. Reindeer. A deer from cold places, often with antlers. Giraffe. A very tall animal with a long neck. Camel. A desert animal with humps on its back. Llama. A woolly animal used for carrying loads. Alpaca. A small woolly animal kept for soft fiber. Donkey. A small horse-like animal with long ears. Mule. An animal born from a horse and a donkey. Zebra. A horse-like animal with black and white stripes. Rhinoceros. A large animal with 1 or 2 horns on its nose. Hippopotamus. A large heavy animal that lives near water. Elephant. A huge animal with a long trunk and tusks. Bird. An animal with feathers and wings. Avian. Related to birds. Raptor. A bird that hunts other animals. Eagle. A large raptor with strong claws. Hawk. A raptor with sharp eyes and claws. Falcon. A fast raptor with pointed wings. Vulture. A large bird that eats dead animals. Owl. A bird with big eyes that hunts at night. Raven. A large black bird with a deep call. Crow. A smart black bird with a loud call. Magpie. A black and white bird with a long tail. Pigeon. A common city bird with a soft cooing call. Dove. A gentle bird often seen as a peace symbol. Sparrow. A small brown bird often found near people. Swallow. A small bird that flies fast and catches insects. Robin. A small songbird with a red or orange chest. Kingfisher. A bright bird that catches fish. Woodpecker. A bird that pecks trees with its strong beak. Flamingo. A tall pink bird with long legs. Pelican. A large water bird with a big throat pouch. Stork. A tall bird with long legs and a long beak. Heron. A long-legged bird that hunts near water. Ostrich. A large flightless bird that runs fast. Penguin. A flightless bird that swims well. Reptile. A cold-blooded animal with dry, scaly skin. Amphibian. An animal that can live in water and on land. Snake. A long reptile with no legs. Viper. A venomous snake with long fangs. Cobra. A venomous snake that can spread its hood. Python. A large snake that squeezes its prey. Boa. A large snake that squeezes its prey. Lizard. A reptile with legs and a long tail. Gecko. A small lizard that can climb walls. Iguana. A large lizard with spines on its back. Chameleon. A lizard that can change color. Monitor. A large, strong lizard with a long tongue. Crocodile. A large reptile with a long snout and strong jaws. Alligator. A large reptile with a broad snout and strong tail. Caiman. A small crocodile-like reptile from warm places. Turtle. A shelled reptile that often lives in water. Tortoise. A land turtle with a hard shell. Terrapin. A small turtle that lives near fresh or salty water. Frog. An amphibian that jumps and often lives near water. Toad. A dry-skinned amphibian that often lives on land. Salamander. A long-bodied amphibian with a tail. Newt. A small salamander that often lives in water. Tadpole. A young frog or toad that lives in water. Caecilian. A legless amphibian that looks like a worm. Fish. An animal that lives in water and has gills. Shark. A large fish with sharp teeth. Ray. A flat sea fish with wide fins. Stingray. A flat ray with a stinging tail. Salmon. A fish that often swims upstream to lay eggs. Trout. A freshwater fish often found in cold rivers. Tuna. A large fast fish often found in the ocean. Cod. A white fish often used for food. Haddock. A white sea fish related to cod. Mackerel. An oily sea fish with dark stripes. Sardine. A small oily fish that swims in groups. Anchovy. A tiny salty fish often used for flavor. Herring. A small sea fish that swims in groups. Eel. A long fish that looks like a snake. Carp. A freshwater fish often found in ponds. Catfish. A fish with whisker-like feelers. Seahorse. A small sea fish with a horse-like head. Dolphin. A smart sea mammal that swims in groups. Porpoise. A small sea mammal that looks like a dolphin. Whale. A very large sea mammal. Orca. A black and white whale that hunts in groups. Manatee. A gentle sea mammal that eats water plants. Dugong. A sea mammal that grazes on seagrass. Narwhal. A whale with a long spiral tusk. Invertebrate. An animal with no backbone. Mollusk. A soft-bodied animal, often with a shell. Cephalopod. A mollusk with arms or tentacles. Crustacean. An animal with a hard shell and jointed legs. Octopus. A sea animal with 8 arms. Squid. A fast-swimming sea animal with 10 arms. Cuttlefish. A sea animal with tentacles and a soft body. Nautilus. A sea animal with tentacles and a spiral shell. Snail. A slow, soft animal, often with a shell. Slug. A soft animal like a snail, but usually without a shell. Clam. A shellfish with 2 hard shells. Oyster. A shellfish that can make pearls. Mussel. A shellfish with a long dark shell. Scallop. A shellfish with a fan-shaped shell. Lobster. A sea animal with a hard shell and big claws. Crab. A shellfish with a wide body and claws. Shrimp. A small sea animal with a curved body. Prawn. A shrimp-like sea animal, often larger. Barnacle. A small sea animal that sticks to rocks or shells. Jellyfish. A soft sea animal with a bell-shaped body. Coral. A tiny sea animal that builds hard reefs. Anemone. A sea animal with soft stinging tentacles. Starfish. A sea animal with a star-shaped body. Urchin. A round sea animal with sharp spines. Anatomy. The study of body parts. Skeleton. The bones that support a body. Spine. The row of bones along the back. Vertebra. One small bone in the spine. Skull. The bones that protect the head. Jaw. The bone used to open and close the mouth. Fang. A long sharp tooth used for biting. Tusk. A long tooth that grows outside the mouth. Horn. A hard pointed part on an animal's head. Antler. A branched bone that grows on a deer's head. Claw. A sharp curved nail on an animal's foot. Hoof. A hard foot part found on horses and deer. Paw. An animal's soft foot with toes or claws. Beak. A bird's hard pointed mouth. Wing. A body part used for flying. Feather. A light covering that grows on birds. Scale. A small hard plate on fish or reptiles. Fin. A flat body part that helps fish swim. Gill. A body part that helps fish breathe in water. Shell. A hard outer cover that protects some animals. Fur. Soft hair that covers many animals. Mane. Long hair around an animal's neck. Snout. The long nose and mouth of an animal. Whisker. A stiff hair near an animal's nose or mouth. Behavior. The way an animal acts. Instinct. A natural action an animal is born knowing. Migration. A long trip animals make to find food or warmer places. Hibernation. A deep winter sleep that saves energy. Camouflage. Colors or patterns that help an animal hide. Mimicry. Looking or acting like something else for protection. Predation. Hunting and eating another animal. Foraging. Searching for food. Grazing. Eating grass or other low plants. Scavenging. Eating dead animals or leftover food. Nesting. Building or using a place for eggs or babies. Mating. Finding a partner to have babies. Breeding. Animals having babies or producing young. Courtship. Actions animals use to attract a mate. Gestation. The time a baby grows inside its mother. Incubation. Keeping eggs warm until they hatch. Hatching. A baby animal coming out of an egg. Metamorphosis. A big body change as an animal grows. Molting. Shedding old skin, feathers, or fur. Adolescence. The growing stage before adulthood. Maturity. The stage when an animal is fully grown. Lifespan. How long an animal usually lives. Domestication. Making wild animals used to living with people. Socialization. Learning how to live and interact with others. Habitat. The natural place where an animal lives. Ecosystem. A community of living things and their environment. Biodiversity. The variety of living things in an area. Fauna. The animals that live in a place. Wildlife. Animals that live freely in nature. Territory. An area an animal protects as its own. Range. The area where an animal naturally lives. Niche. An animal's role in its ecosystem. Population. A group of the same animals in one area. Colony. A group of animals living together. Herd. A group of large animals that live together. Flock. A group of birds or sheep together. Pack. A group of animals that live or hunt together. Pod. A group of sea mammals, such as dolphins or whales. School. A group of fish swimming together. Sanctuary. A safe place where animals are protected. Reserve. A protected area for wild animals and nature. Conservation. Protecting animals and their natural homes. Extinction. When a kind of animal no longer exists. Endangerment. Being at risk of disappearing forever. Poaching. Illegal hunting or capturing of animals. Captivity. Living under human care, not in the wild. Rehabilitation. Helping injured animals recover. Reintroduction. Returning animals to the wild.